Hi, my name is Les Jerome, and I'm an author. And recently, my wife's cousin asked me, "Why do you write?" And I think about that a little bit. And I do it for a couple of reasons. One is I do it to inform. Another reason I write is to challenge people's assumptions, to make people think, to make people look at things in a very, very different way based on my unique set of experiences, which are different than other people's experiences. And I think that's the way it is with all authors. And also to give me something to do in my retirement. And I thought in this first episode, what I would do is I would walk you around my room, which I call Les's Lair. My wife has been gracious enough to allow me to have a room in the house that I can use to do my work, and I just wanted to show you that because it'll give you a little bit of an insight into me and what I do, and a little bit about my books. All right, so to start, you'll notice that there are swords on the wall. A picture of the Old West, and that one there is a Civil War artillery saber. It's genuine, and those are a reflection of my military service. You'll also see my collection of military coins from my 22 years of service in the Army. During that time, I was an artillery officer and a military planner, which meant I planned battles and campaigns, which I think gives me a different perspective than a lot of writers have. This is a really small group of Roman coins, most from the late Empire, because I'm fascinated by late antiquity. You'll also notice that there are a lot of rocks, some in the house, some outside the house. Only the best rocks get to come inside, and you can see that. I also collect, because of my fascination with military history, I also collect military tactical manuals. Some of these date from the early 1800s. And as a West Point graduate, I've always been fascinated by the history of the military academy. And so I have a series of what are called West Point howitzers, which are the annuals of the United States Military Academy. These range from the 1909 howitzer, which was Patton's senior year, 1913, which was the annual that contained Eisenhower's 1 year of experience on the football team. The most famous thing he did while he was there was played against Jim Thorpe in Carlisle Indian School, and a number of others that went clear up to when I graduated in 1979. And then there are my books. The first book is one that's called the Galilean Codex. This one was fun to write. It's about a conspiracy that happened in the first century AD, lasted for about 400 years, that changes everything we think about modern Christianity. And then it takes it into the modern day, and it becomes this adventure kind of quest by a group of modern people that turns into a mystery, and it was just a lot of fun to write. The second book that I've got here is called The Last Commando. The real point of this novel is about the impact of technology on our modern political system. In this book, social media is used, and all of the technology we have to give politicians an ability to gain and maintain power using any means that are possible, and it's just truly frightening what that can actually mean. My last and most recent work is called Wallia's Quest. It's a Goths fight for freedom in a Roman world. This is the first of 5 novels in this series, and the whole point of Wallia's Quest is to give a fictional autobiography of one of the participants in one of the most epic events in human history. And that was the 40-year Goth migration. This was a group of 50,000 people, men, women, and children, that were driven from their homeland by the savage Huns, asked for permission to enter the Eastern Roman Empire. Permission was granted, and then they started on a 40-year odyssey that involved multiple rebellions against Rome, one in which they killed the Roman emperor, destroyed the Roman army. Then they went all the way through Romania, cleared to Turkey, went down through Greece, all the way through the Peloponnese, migrated all the way up through through the Balkans, went through Italy, started in the north of Italy, went all the way to the Boot, sacked Rome for the first time in 800 years along the way. Then they went into what's modern-day France, was called Gaul in those days, spent some time there. Then they went into what was called Hispania, the Iberian Peninsulas, went all through Portugal, all through Spain, did a whole circuit of the Iberian Peninsula before being settled in modern Aquitaine in France. It's absolutely a fascinating story, and it's told as a fictional autobiography by the king who brought the Goth king who brought that migration to a successful conclusion. And because we know absolutely nothing about him until just right at the very end of his life, it allowed me to create a story of that a fictional story of that migration from the perspective of the Goths from the beginning and the end. And during my fictional autobiography, I allow Wallia to basically move seamlessly between the Goth world and the Roman world to give perspectives and to talk about all the things that were happening in that time. Many of those things resonate today. Things like immigration, wealth inequality, demonizing the quote-unquote other, and how oftentimes politicians will use hatred toward a group in order to gain and maintain power. And so that's Wallia's Quest. Fascinating book. You should pick it up and read it. And that's my story from today, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks. Bye.